There's really not that many walls.
There's so many walls.
I gotta be honest with you, there's really only 4.
I mean, okay.
Well, the film is R-rated and it's not intended for children.
Ah, but of course children are gonna see it.
Can I finish?
It was so brutal.
Yeah.
And yet it was like a car crash.
Can I finish? Hello? Can I finish?
Well, I go out for the wave, and then I hear like, Candace! And I'm like, fuck.
Can I finish? Please, can I finish? Okay, I finished.
Hey everyone, welcome to Can I Finish? I'm JR, that's Billy. Let's start the show. So, first topic we want to tackle today is wardrobe malfunction.
It's favorite potato chip. And I will tell you my favorite potato chip. And it's very bland, but it's a go-to. Cape Cod chips, bro. You can't miss on a Cape Cod chip.
You're going fucking Cape Cod?
Absolutely. But I'm going to explain why I love Cape Cod. Because Cape Cod is good on its own, but Cape Cod's also good with other food. That's the key factor.
Okay.
Because if you're telling me, so let's play this game, right? Instead of or you can give me your favorite potato chip. No, you're messing with it for no reason. If you give me your favorite potato chip, you also have to give me what potato chip you want for the rest of your life. Because that's also different. Because I would choose Cape Cod chips because I can have like one of my favorite things.
You're going to go with a
have
plain Cape Cod chip.
It's not
for
plain,
the rest of your life.
Absolutely, I am. Because if I have like a sandwich, have you ever had like a roast beef sandwich,
have you ever
lettuce,
killed
tomato?
a small animal?
I have. Have you ever had a roast?
Like murdered or like? No, I'm not talking about like run over. I'm talking about like
hunted. Yeah,
caught,
absolutely.
No, caught like a fucking cat and like brought it into your home and then just like ended its life. Because to want a Cape Cod potato chip for the rest of your life makes you a fucking serial killer.
That's fucking aggressive as fuck. That one really aggressive for no reason. I would highly disagree. Cape Cod chips are delicious, and they go well with other food. You're not gonna have another chip with other food. Now,
not true.
If I were to have my favorite chip and not be my only
favorite chip of all time, period.
Doritos nachos.
Fair.
Doritos
the nacho flavor,
chip.
original nacho,
not Cool
original nacho flavor Dorito.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine.
I do love Cape
there
Cod
is
chips,
no favorite.
I
don't know if I have a
How
favorite.
dare you
chip.
say that? How
Dude, you're a
dare
serial
you
killer.
call me a serial
You're a
killer
serial
and not
killer.
even give me a favorite chip for me to call you a serial
Number
killer?
Number 1. Favorite plain potato chip. Utz.
What?
Utz is better than Lay's. It's better than Wise.
You're a rapist. See,
No.
I can say things too. I can say things too.
Utz potato chips are the best plain potato chips out there.
What?
Yep.
Dude, Cape Cod is so much better. You're from the Northeast. How dare you
Number 1, Cape Cod isn't a plain potato chip. It's a kettle cooked chip.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
How so?
Kettle cooked and regular potato chips have a different process, therefore they taste different.
They're not that significant of a difference to be
Yeah,
to have two different classifications.
Totally different. Consistency difference, everything. Everything's different.
You're a rapist.
You're a serial killer. Together we make Wonder Twins. If I'm going plain potato chip, Utz. If I'm going flavored potato chip, actual potato chip, I'm going Ruffles, cheddar, and sour cream. Yeah.
There was just so many, but that was like, if I could face vomit, that's what I just did.
Okay.
What?
And if I'm doing,
what are you talking
if
about?
I'm doing
These aren't even the same categories.
favorite non like potato chip, then I would go Doritos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nacho.
Well, no one.
Doritos nacho is although I do love a spicy nacho.
I do love a Cool Ranch every now and then too.
I'm not a big fan of the Cool Ranch.
And you are one of few people.
I know.
Anyways,
I think it's overrated.
explain to me your favorite chip again, because it hurts me in so many different
my
levels.
favorite overall chip would be the Doritos nacho.
Okay.
Yes. Like, if I can't have another chip for the rest of my life,
Oh, disagreed.
I'm going Doritos.
Disagreed. If I can only have one chip for the rest of my life, it's going to be a Cape Cod chip.
And that's fine.
Because
you're a psychopath.
No, because get a bacon, egg, and cheese. The next time you get a bacon, egg, and
I'd
cheese.
rather have Utz on it than a fucking Cape Cod chip on it.
Well, that's just fucking
Cape
psychotic.
Cod chips are too
Sir, you're
hard.
wrong.
They're too hard to put on a sandwich.
What does that mean? Too
It
hard?
means they're too crunchy.
I don't understand what that means. But I don't understand. If you're taking,
I understand wanting the crunch in a sandwich.
Yeah.
I get that. Like, I love putting potato chips on a sandwich. But a Cape Cod chip does not belong on a sandwich. It belongs next to a sandwich. If you want to,
I disagree. I want a bite of chip every
that's fine,
bite.
But then put a normal chip on there. Put
I like to stack 'em.
Put a Wise. Put a Lay's.
Wise.
Put a
It's not the
fucking
same.
Wise barbecue is actually delicious, but that's beside
That is
the
a
point
good
entirely. But Cape Cod on a chip is not.
Dude, how weird
on a
is it
sandwich
that
is
in
not a good
England,
sandwich.
chip isn't chip. Chip is fucking
Fuck
fries.
England,
right?
You stupid fries.
Fuck off.
My
With your
point-
fucking driving backwards ways.
No, I can't put a Cape Cod chip on a sandwich. It's too hard. Plus, they all come fucking crumpled up. Like, Cape Cod chips literally looks like somebody threw them in the fucking kettle after they, like, grabbed them, crunched them up into a little ball, and then put them in there.
Like, what are you, like, 4? Yeah, compress them. Yeah, and then it crunches down, and it's fucking delicious.
No.
Every bite.
No.
It's not like they stay that way and it's unmovable.
Are you a guy that orders an entire plate of curly fries?
In what aspect?
Just, I'm at
Like
a restaurant.
by themselves?
Yeah, like curly fries.
Am I drunk?
Nope. Just, are you drunk every time you eat fucking Cape Cod chips?
No.
Okay. So, do you just order curly fries?
No, but it depends on the place that I'm going to. What if they have amazing curly fries? Because whenever I go to...
Then you get half and half.
When I go to Cherry Street, I only offer waffle fries because they have the best waffle fries. So
Well,
if
a waffle
I found
fry and a curly fry are two totally different things.
But if I found a place that specializes in
I still wouldn't do it. They could be the best curly fries on the planet. I would not order a plate of just curly fries.
I
But
disagree.
Because it's my same point in the Cape Cod chips.
That they're too crunchy?
You don't go like because you said like, oh, you compress them, and you're saying like a folded up fucking chip is better than a flat chip.
Yeah.
Okay. I disagree. I think getting an accidental folded up chip in like an Utz or a Wise or a Lay's is way better than getting an entire bag of fucking crumpled up origami chips.
It just tastes better.
It doesn't.
It's like
though.
there's crunch and it's
after
good,
a while
and
it doesn't. I'm not disputing the fact that Cape Cod chips are good.
Also the key of the conversation though is also what would you have for the rest of your life? Because we also kind of switched it. We did kind of switch it into what would you have for the rest of your life. My favorite chip is probably a Doritos nacho chip.
And I would have to agree with you on that.
But if I were to have one for the rest of the life, I would not choose that because I enjoy like having like a roast beef sandwich, lettuce, tomato, salt, pepper,
But you're
a
a
little bit of
psychopath who's
mayo.
going to put that fucking Cape Cod chip on the sandwich.
At least I'm not a rapist.
No, but you're a crazy person. A regular
I wouldn't argue that.
non-kettle cooked potato chip belongs on any sandwich.
So what
I'm
is
okay
your?
with that.
I'm going to only have one chip for the rest of my life.
Doritos?
But where else are you going to have a Doritos chip besides itself?
Who cares? They're fucking delicious.
Do you only ever eat chips by itself? Do you never have?
Sometimes I put chips on a sandwich.
Okay.
But if I'm having a sandwich and I have Doritos, I have no problem putting Doritos on the plate, eating the sandwich, and having some Doritos.
Sorry. It's like it's such a back. It's taking me such a back. But like all right, so like give me like a meal that you would have with Doritos nachos chips on the side. Because I can't think of a meal that I would want the cheesiness because that's my favorite part of it, right? Like we can both agree, like our favorite part of it is like how cheesy and good they are, right?
Yeah.
So like what meal would you have with Doritos nacho chips?
Any meal deserves a Doritos chip.
Yeah, but it's cheesy though. We can both agree on it.
Right. Okay. For me and my love of cheese, I don't care. I could have a grilled cheese and have Doritos with it.
But I would agree that would make sense with, right? But you can make it.
All right, so give me something that you think doesn't make sense, and I will tell you whether or not I would have a Doritos with it.
Roast beef.
I would eat Doritos with it.
Like
if you're talking about like roast beef, mayonnaise, cheese, lettuce, tomato on a hoagie or a wrap or whatever the fuck you want to call
Where
it.
the fuck are you from? A fucking hoagie. I
What,
want to
a wedge?
slap
You wanna
across
use wedge?
A wedge, a fucking hero, a hoagie. Where the fuck are you
Fucking
from?
hoagie, bro.
You're from the fucking Northeast. Piss the fuck off. Call it a fucking hoagie.
It's a hoagie.
I want to fucking
It's a hoagie.
elbow you. I felt pure rage there.
You want to know something funny?
Go ahead.
I always say wedge, and for some reason Hoagie came out.
Because you fucking wanted to attack me.
I just like to
I
see you
wanted
get
to
fired
fucking
up.
throw you an elbow. Go ahead.
All right, so
Elbow.
I would absolutely have Doritos with that sandwich. 100%.
But like, all right, turkey.
Yeah.
Any
deli meat.
In fairness, because I would only usually eat like a Cape Cod chip with food, it would probably be a deli meat. You know?
I would eat Doritos by themselves.
Like Italian combo. You could not have a Dorito chip with an Italian combo.
I would not reach for a Dorito chip.
Okay.
With an Italian combo.
Okay.
If there were 2 bags of chips, one was Doritos, one was not.
Right.
Let's just call it a regular bag of chips.
Let's call it a regular bag of chips.
Brand name doesn't matter.
Brand name does not matter.
I would go other bag of chips, not Doritos, for an Italian combo.
So not a kettle chip, you would go with a normal chip.
Right, but if it was Doritos and kettle chip Italian combo, I would still go kettle chip.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
That's what I was going to ask.
Absolutely. However, if it's Italian combo and only Doritos and I was feeling like I wanted the crunch, I would still get the Doritos.
I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah.
Now, let me
But
ask
it
you
wouldn't
another
be
question.
my first choice.
If you were to do a sandwich, now I'm talking deli meats. I'm not talking like,
Yep.
turkey, ham, whatever you want to go with. French fries or potato chips?
Am I putting them on the sandwich?
Not necessarily.
Just with the sandwich?
Yeah, I'm at a restaurant. I'm your waiter at a restaurant, and I give you deli meat, and I go, sir, would you like French fries or would you like
If
potato
I'm going
chips?
cold
Deli,
sandwich,
right,
sandwich,
right.
I prefer a potato chip.
I agree.
If I'm doing hot sandwich for lunch, like a burger, I would prefer the fries. And if I'm doing breakfast sandwich, I would prefer either a hash brown or a potato cone on the sandwich.
Agreed. I agree with all that except for certain hot sandwiches. Let me explain.
Okay, go ahead.
If hamburger, I agree. French fries. I mean,
Yep.
we're American.
Obviously.
You have French
Grilled
fries.
cheese French fries?
Grilled cheese French fries. Grilled cheese French fries. Steak sandwich. Chips. That's unpopular. I know.
Yeah, I would probably still do fries.
Most people would.
I would still do fries.
Steak sandwich, I would probably do chips.
If there was an alternative fried potato with the steak sandwich, I might take it.
Fair enough.
So, like, if it was waffle fries, I would take those over regular fries. If it was potato cones, I would probably do that over French fries.
So, next level. Standard French fries, steak fries, waffle fries, curly fries.
Depends on what I'm eating.
Fair
Absolutely,
enough.
100% depends on what I'm eating.
But
if
I'm gonna make you eat it out of a bowl. I'm not gonna give you anything side. I'm gonna give you one choice. And you can only have it for the rest of your life. Straight string fries, curly fries.
Are they shoestring French fries? Like
They're
McDonald's?
McDonald's French fries.
McDonald's
but they're
French
not
fries.
from McDonald's because McDonald's is the easy choice.
Obviously, I just have to take those French fries off.
Yeah, of course. They're like Burger King French fries.
I actually just had Burger King for lunch. I don't hate Burger King French fries.
And you're the only person that does.
Probably.
No, that's not true.
One type of fry for the rest of my life. And I'm eating it by itself.
Yep, by itself. I mean, obviously, later in life, you can mix it.
I can combine it with food, but generally speaking, if I'm eating this French fry, it's by itself.
I will just give you a second because you're really sitting on it. I believe I would choose waffle fries. But it really depends, though, because it has to be like no one else probably knows this, but like Cherry Street, they have the very, very crispy.
Yeah, those waffle fries are fucking
waffle fries.
money.
They're very crispy. They're fried very well, and they have like a little bit of like some sort of seasoning.
So question then is, are these particular fries only from one place, or it's just anywhere I go, I can only get that type of fry?
I'm gonna go with the second one. You will only get that type of fry.
At that point, then I'm just doing regular old-fashioned fries.
Okay.
Because I'm not anybody.
You
can
don't take
do
the
fries.
risk.
Right? Anybody can do fries.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if they're shoestring, McDonald's style,
Right.
Regular French fries,
Sure.
or whatever,
Sure.
or if it's just a fucking potato that they threw, actually
Sure.
hand cut.
Yeah.
Like, it's still just French fries, and at that point, it's French fries, and French fries are good.
Sure.
But you can fuck up
Yeah.
other fries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so people always say this is a true story. So people always say you can't fuck up pizza, right? Like,
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true. You
I will
can fuck
never
up pizza.
forget.
However, at the end of the day, it's still pizza.
I will never forget. I must have been 15, 14 at the time. My dad brought me to a Baltimore Ravens football game in Baltimore.
Did you get football pizza?
So no, I
Okay.
didn't. I did not.
Because I had stadium pizza at Fenway, and it was a mistake.
Did you? I heard
Yes.
Fenway actually has really good food.
Fenway has pretty good food.
Yeah,
The pizza, not so much. However,
but you ate the whole thing.
I did.
Wait, so
Interesting.
Here's
Hold on though.
Go ahead.
Interestingly enough,
Go ahead.
I because I think I was just feeling like a masochist. I had pizza from the stand. Like I went into the and like got pizza, stood in line, got pizza. It was shit. Same pizza.
But you ate it though.
I ate it.
I just want to make that clear.
Same pizza getting passed around by the fucking people with the shit on their head going, pizza,
Yeah,
pizza
yeah, yeah.
here,
Hot
pizza,
dog, hot dog,
pizza,
hot dog.
yeah, hot dog, hot dog,
Right.
hot dog. I got that
I gotta
pizza.
send you a funny video after this.
I got that pizza. That pizza was delicious.
Yeah.
Same pizza from the same place.
Interesting.
In the same stadium.
Interesting.
It was good.
Yeah.
However,
Mindset is also kind of high.
love a lot
you
of
know?
things about Boston. Fuck their pizza.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
But anyway,
So
Baltimore Ravens football game.
it was Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers playoff game, and Plaxico Burress was currently on the Steelers. That's dating myself.
How long ago? Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you the year, but I was younger, and me and my dad, we stayed at a hotel afterwards, obviously. And obviously, you order pizza, chicken fingers, and fries after the game.
Right.
And pizza comes. JR, never in my life. I've had bad pizza before, right? Like, even the story that you just told me. Like, you had bad pizza, but you finished it.
Exactly.
I took one bite and spit it out. Never in my life had I had the crust was all cardboard. The cheese was funky. Like, it was terrible. So whenever somebody says you can't mess up pizza,
You can mess up.
I mean, like lightning, it comes back to me. I remember that story.
100% mess
So
up
like
pizza.
people say you cannot mess up French fries, you cannot mess up pizza. Motherfucker, I'm from New York. Okay, I've had the best pizza my entire life. Fuck deep dish.
Chicago's not pizza; it's a casserole.
Get out of here. Thank you. It's completely different. It is not a
pizza.
real fucking slice. A real
You
fucking
might as well-
slice
you might
is
as well be
triangular and
sending
the
me-
size of my fucking head. I'm from New York. Don't give me that shit. I don't want to hear
Deep
that's
dish
real
pizza,
fucking pizza.
You know what deep dish pizza is?
It's good.
It's an open calzone.
But it's good though.
It's very
I'm not
good.
denying
It's
that.
just not
It's not
pizza.
fucking pizza. I'm sorry. I'm fucking from New York. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Real fucking pizza is a triangle and it's the size of my head and it's fucking delicious.
Who hurt you?
It's fucking Chicago with their bullshit pizza that people want to tell. Oh no, Chicago pizza is just as good as New York pizza. Fuck off. Fuck off. Move to California. I don't know what California has to do with it, but it has everything to do with it.
It's nonsensical.
It's nonsense. Fucking pizza.
All right. So before we move on to the next topic,
This video is sponsored by no one.
nobody ever in the
can
history
sponsor
of
here?
anything.
Empty space for sponsor.
Favorite name brand pizza.
So that was a very long pause. I couldn't even think of a name brand pizza.
Papa John's, Domino's,
Newman's.
Pizza Hut.
Newman's.
The fuck is Newman's?
You ever had freezer Newman pizza? It's actually pretty good. It's very thin crust.
You went fucking freezer pie.
Yeah.
I gave you Papa John's,
Because I won't. I would never.
Domino's,
Nope.
Pizza Hut, and you
wouldn't do
went
it.
fucking Newman's.
Yep.
You skipped over the Red Baron and DiGiorno
Yep.
and went Newman's in your fucking freezer pizza.
Yep.
Interesting.
And I stand by that.
Fair enough.
Because Newman's is like also very different. Like Newman's is like that kind of mood pizza. Like for instance, great example. We can both agree Colony Pizza is fantastic, right?
Delicious.
But Colony Pizza is very different than New York Slices, right?
It's bar pizza. It's bar pizza.
Right. It's very thin and it's fucking amazing. but I also have to be in the mood for colony. And that's a key that people, I understand that most people don't relate to that, but I'm used to New York pizza. That's how I was raised,
Right.
you know? So, like, when I want pizza, I don't want colony pizza.
No, you have a craving for pizza. You just want a traditional pie.
I want a traditional New York slice. That's what I want. And, colony is fantastic. I would never speak a bad word of colony, but the colony would never be my go-to.
You're not going to go out of your way for colony. If somebody says, hey, you want to go to colony, grab some pizza, you'll say,
I'll say
sure,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I love colony.
I say yeah.
But you're not going, God, I want pizza. I should go to colony.
Right. Never.
Yeah.
I've never been like that.
That's fine.
I've never been like that. So, like, Newman's is kind of the same for me because it's like, for whatever reason, like, thin pizza really doesn't count to me because it's like, it's just different, you know? Like, it's like, it's like having a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll and a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel.
Yeah.
They're
totally different things.
They're the same
You got to be in the
thing,
mood
but
for
they're
one.
completely
I got to be in the
different.
mood for it on a bagel.
But that's my point. But
Yeah.
they're literally the same thing.
Yeah.
But they're completely different.
100%.
So, like, that's why I actually enjoy Newman's because, like, every now and then I'll be in the mood for a thin pizza.
Right.
But, like, for thin pizza and for Frieza pizza, it's
Not
pretty
bad.
good.
Okay, that's fair.
It's pretty good.
I've never had it, so I don't know.
It's actually pretty good.
I would
But,
go.
like,
I would go Pizza Hut.
I think my grandmother would, like, roll over in her grave if I said that out loud.
That's fair.
You know, like Domino's, like pizza.
I
Pizza
would
Hut.
do.
For those who don't know, I'm very Italian, so.
I would do Pizza Hut if it's a plain pie. So the individual Pizza Hut, like those personal pizzas from Pizza Hut, I don't know why. They're one of my favorite things on the planet.
Sure.
I love them.
Yeah.
It's not the same in a regular Pizza Hut pie. Plain cheese. Just plain cheese pizza.
Nothing like pepperoni, sausage?
Nope, nothing.
No, just plain cheese.
Plain cheese pizza.
Okay.
One of my favorite pizzas on the planet. But it has to be personal size. Because a regular Pizza Hut
Aren't they
pizza.
all personal size?
No, dude. Pizza Hut pizza is just like Domino's. It's the exact same thing. We just don't have Pizza Hut around here, so you don't think of it as much.
Yeah. We used to have one in Norwalk. Remember
I
that?
know, dude. So anyway, it's beside the point. If it's an individual Pizza Hut pizza, I'm in. If it's a normal size pizza and it has toppings and shit, I would go Domino's.
Yeah.
Before Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Because I've never been able to find a Pizza Hut that can recreate that personal pizza. I'd rather order 3 personal pizzas and eat them than get one large pie.
Interesting.
Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Interesting. Because I think there's 3 pizza categories: thin crust, normal slice, grease pizza.
You mean Greek?
No, grease, like
greasy?
greasy pizza. Yeah. Because I actually find them in different categories because you didn't grow up in New Canaan, but there's a place called New Canaan Pizza in New Canaan.
Yeah.
The slices are dumb grease. I mean, like, you can, like, wring it out and, like, fill up a cup.
It's pretty
with
good
it.
pizza.
But sometimes you
You
want
just feel
that.
like it. Yeah.
Sometimes
I've
you
had
want
pie.
that grease.
I worked in New Canaan.
I didn't know if you knew about it, but
Dude, I worked for one of the pizza places in New Canaan. Of course, I know about it.
fair enough. Who'd you work for?
Pinocchio's.
Pinocchio's. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
To be completely candid with you, I didn't know that.
I used to work for Pinocchio's.
But, I always found, like, grease pizza is in its own different category.
Yeah. See, for me, it's the bar pizza, which is like that flat style pizza.
Sure.
Then you have a traditional style pizza, right? So like it can either be in a regular oven or a wood fired oven, but I don't want to say like New York style because you have like I put like
But isn't the slice itself considered New York style? Isn't that
so
isn't
like
that
a
a categorization?
If a New York slice, by meaning like that big slice that you get in New York City, like
That's
that's
just like the slice I love.
and that's fine. But I'm saying I put that type of pie that slice is coming from,
Right.
and Frank Pepe's or Modern or Sally's, those pizzas, those are traditional pizzas for me. So like those are in the same category as far as pizzas go.
Sure.
And then so I have like those 2 categories, but then I also have Greek pizza, not Greece, but Greek.
Greek.
So Hope Street Pizza in Stamford.
Sure.
And Post Corner Pizza
pizza's fucking good.
in Darien.
Yeah.
Like those are good fucking pies.
Yeah.
But you like it's and Greek pie, like it comes and it's cut into squares.
Right.
And it's cooked.
Which is technically a Sicilian slice.
Well, it's cooked.
But it's not as fat.
Right. It's cooked the same style as a Sicilian, but it's the amount of dough that would be in a normal pizza,
Right.
just cut in squares.
Right, because Sicilian is just a fatter dough to pizza.
Correct. So
Mazel.
yeah. So, but that's the thing. So like when I'm categorizing pizza, it depends on what type of pizza it is.
Right.
And for the record, those are the only 3 categories for me because
Deep
it's not pizza. It's a fucking
But
casserole.
no, but see, that's not fair. That's not fair. I will never do that. I won't do it because deep dish is good. It's just not pizza.
That's what I said. I'm not going to put deep dish in a
It's trying to be
category.
funny. It's like, it's just, like, it's just like, it's not the same. Like, you can't. I'm just saying, like, when you come up against New York pizza, like, you better bring your best
just stop.
shit.
It's just
You
stop.
better bring your best shit. You're talking about New York pizza. You're talking about the Mike Tyson of boxing. You're talking about fucking the Babe Ruth of baseball. Shut the fuck up. Bring your A game at me. I'm not hearing it. You want to
just-
bring deep dish at me? Get out of here, bro.
Get the fuck out.
Get out of here.
It's
Get
not,
out of here.
It's not pizza.
Not-
It's
not in
yummy.
comparison
It's
to New York.
yummy.
It's delicious.
It's yummy.
It really is.
Also,
it's not New York
anyone who
pizza.
inverts the cheese in the sauce can go straight to hell.
Go to fucking hell. There is a special place for you, and it's with fucking pedophiles and fucking serial killers because that is fucking against everything I believe in to see red on top of a fucking pie. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're fucking nuts.
Unless it's
You're
a margarita
fucking nuts.
pie.
Bullshit. Margarita pizza can go there as well. Fuck it. The fact that I see red without fucking yellow on top of it, wrong. You're doing it wrong.
It's too
Go back
aggressive.
to China.
Dude, margarita pies are delicious.
Go back to China.
White pies are delicious.
China
But just don't put
invented
the sauce
pizza.
on top of the
China
cheese.
invented pizza. The Italians perfected it.
That has nothing to do with it.
Everything to do with
That
it.
has nothing to do with it.
You might invent a good slice, but it's not the best slice. Go back to China.
Okay, whatever. Moving on. Fucking it's nothing.
It makes sense if you think
All
about
right,
it.
so sure, whatever you say. And so I mean, you know this, and most of the people that are gonna be listening to this that know me know that I'm gonna have a baby in
Yes.
March,
Yes.
and it's a boy.
Yes. Name's Billy.
No, but that's actually my next topic and point is that the naming process of this kid is so hard.
I could only imagine.
Because like there's so many different things, right? So like first we come with like I know a person named X and there's no way that my kid is going to be named after this person, right? So you get all the vetoes out of the way. Like people that you hate.
Right.
And you're like I would never, or like ex-boyfriends because
Sure.
we're having a boy and so
Sure.
like guys that Jill has dated
Sure.
prior to me,
Done.
kid's never going to have that name.
Never gonna be
Right.
Adolf, you know?
Exactly. And you go historically speaking, right? It's never going to be named Benito.
No, never. It's not gonna be named that. No, you're good.
But there's other factors that I've been thinking about in this
Right.
that have nothing to do with that stuff, but it's still like, no, I'm not going to name my kid that. And it, like, for example, 2 names that I think of right off the top of my head, Chad and Kyle.
I know. I know.
And it's
because
because
memes
of-
ruined it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Like,
I love memes.
we're
I mean,
not,
come on.
we're not, and Jill and I are not looking to necessarily go that white
Right.
with our name.
Sure.
Meaning like white American,
Right.
as
But-
opposed to just
but
overall.
The only
But-
reason why you say that, though, is because of memes and how the stigma
Well,
of Kyle and Chad is.
It's grown, and that's
It's
playing
grown.
into
It's the
it.
white
Right,
male
yes.
kind of thing, though, because that's exactly to your point. Like you
Like-
don't want to be that white,
Right.
but that's only because memes made it that white.
But like also when you look at it, like what we're doing right now is a very Chad and Kyle thing to do.
Bro,
Think about it.
First of all,
Hold
I
on.
do not have a Monster hat
That's
on.
beside the
I'm not
point.
drinking any
No.
energy
Listen,
drinks.
listen. We're 2 white dudes having a fucking podcast, which is a pretty white thing to do at this point. Although podcasts for everybody, so maybe
There's,
not.
like, podcasts
but
everywhere,
we're
but
2
sure.
white dudes podcasting, drinking hard seltzer. Like it's pretty Chad and Kyle. If I
disagree
mean,
with that, but sure.
if you like put yourself through this table, it would send us over the edge for
If
Kevin.
I put myself through the table, absolutely agreed. Yeah. If we ended every episode with me jumping off the side into the,
into the table.
absolutely. That's okay.
It would also get
That's fair.
expensive very fast.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
very nice
Like,
table.
Yeah, I could only imagine. But like, no.
It's not a very nice
But
table.
like, being a first of all, being a Chad is being like a very like rich white boy.
Right. It's also become like a derogatory term.
Right.
It's not even just a name anymore.
Absolutely. Like, memes like have ruined certain names, and that's like that's fascinating to me. Like I could never and would never, because I would care about my child, name him Kyle.
Right.
Because they're gonna be like, sweet Kyle, what are you gonna do? Like drink another energy drink, like skateboard?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, and he'd
Hey,
probably
Kyle,
be like,
we're gonna go get some monsters. You
and
want
my,
to come?
and my son would probably be like, no, I'm gay, And then they'd be like,
No, I actually just want to stay inside, play video games, and comic books.
right, and they'd be like, oh, like make the same jokes, and it can be like completely like disingenuous, especially because like how like woke our generation is. I know that I hate that term, but it is a very accurate term.
I hate the entire generation as a whole
I
because of the culture that's
strongly
produced.
disagree.
The culture that's produced is stupid.
What's wrong with our culture?
The cancel culture?
Cancel. What? So okay. So I'm gonna come from a
It's an aside.
calm point of view.
Okay.
Go ahead and explain your thought process, because I actually will defend millennials to the death of me. But go ahead.
So I have multiple
There's
problems.
certain. I will say there's certain aspects I don't.
I have multiple
agree with.
problems with the millennial
But go ahead,
generation.
please dive
in and of itself.
Dive in.
But
Let's do it.
this woke culture has become a cancel culture where like people can't say anything without
Oh, the mob mentality.
right.
I agree
so like
with that.
like the guy that got kicked off of SNL
I agree with that
for something
actually.
he said 8 years ago.
That's fair. I agree with
Like
that.
that it's not woke. That's
Yeah.
just you're literally just doing it
Now
because
you're
you have
looking for
nothing
reasons.
else to do.
Right. That's fair.
If you
That's
don't
fair.
like
I
what
won't argue
someone is
that.
saying,
Turn the channel.
right? And granted, now if this person is in a position of influence, where and I'm saying this as like not specifically to Trump, but
Just
if
as
you're-
an example.
But if you're the president, you're in a position where people read everything you say or do, whether it's in person or on social media.
Sure.
I feel that there's a responsibility for you to be professional at all times.
Agreed. Especially as president of the United States. Agreed.
Right. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should maintain professionalism.
You're
in the things that
representing
you
all of
do.
us.
Right. In the things that you do and say, you should be professional.
I agree.
Okay.
Agree. I think everyone can agree
Granted that it doesn't mean you're on 24/7.
Sure.
Like you get a little bit of leeway.
Sure.
But
I mean, he's
maintain
human. He
some
makes
right,
mistakes.
exactly. But maintain some professionalism
Agreed.
at all times.
Agreed.
If you're a comedian and your job is to just tell jokes and be risque and do funny shit, some people aren't going to think you're funny. And that's fine. Some people are going to think you're fucking hilarious. That's great.
Sure.
But you should not be canceled or kicked off a TV show
agree with that.
because of something you said on
8
a
years ago.
podcast 8 years ago.
8 years
You know
ago.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
and
nuts
there's also degrees. Like if you're doing the what's his name from Seinfeld coming out and just spewing the N-word because you snapped angrily during one of your stand-up sessions.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, Kramer. Like
Years
ago.
That was
Not
not Saturday
Jerry.
Night Live.
No, it wasn't on Saturday Night Live. It was a stand-up special.
Oh.
Like he was just doing
thought you said
stand-up
something about
at a
Saturday
club.
Night Live.
No, he was just doing stand-up at a club and like got heckled and snapped, handled it wrong.
Well, like the guys had like come in late because it was even worse than that. Like they weren't even heckling or something. I don't remember the story, but they like, came in late or something like that. And they were making noise.
He dropped N-bombs. He shouldn't have
Which
dropped
ridiculous.
N-bombs.
I mean, absolutely.
Right.
We can all agree on
He got
that.
into a lot of
We
trouble.
can all agree
for
on
it.
that.
It is. You're right.
No one would disagree with that.
But an Asian guy doing an Asian accent on a podcast 8 years ago
That's nuts to me.
is silliness.
That's insane.
And that's my problem is that they're looking for just any reason to cancel people.
Absolutely.
And that's not cool.
Well, that's because there's this mob mentality nowadays where people
Are you saying
that-
mob or mom?
mob.
Okay.
Sorry. MOB. Sorry, I apologize.
Just checking.
No,
Because
no.
a mom mentality would be Karen,
my
can I talk to a
accent.
manager?
We're good.
Which, by the way, full circle on this whole baby naming thing, can't name a girl Karen because she automatically wants to speak to a manager.
Which is fair. Which is true. 'Cause she definitely wants to speak to a manager. She absolutely wants to speak to a manager. That's completely fair.
But anyway, yes,
no, but
mob
the mob
mentality.
mentality, which has become very accepted, which is very okay. So I started this conversation by saying I will defend the millennials in many aspects.
Right.
But that aspect, you're 100% right.
Okay.
I mean, the mob mentality is gotten out of control to the point that like one person doesn't like something that somebody says, then that one person goes to their inner close of friends. And
Right.
the problem with that is when you go to your inner close of friends, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, the reason why they're your close
you all
personal
have
friends is because
the
you have
same
similar
ideals.
views.
Right, yeah.
So then you go to your similar view people, and they all agree with you, and then it grows. So now that you have somebody backing you, now you get louder.
Right.
But that does not classify the millennial crowd. In fact, the problem that I have is that it's a very, very, very small demographic.
It's
And
not a small demographic,
No,
though.
you're wrong. They're the loudest because they believe they should be the loudest. And because of things like social media and the news and things like that, now they have a platform to stand on.
Okay, so maybe
There's always
hold
been
on.
fucking
let me,
idiots.
Let me clarify.
Go ahead.
They may not be the largest number of millennials. They're definitely the loudest. But what happens is they're like a virus.
Oh, absolutely.
They're so loud
Agreed.
that they get picked up, and then
I
everybody,
still think it's the minority.
millennials, baby boomers, Generation Z,
Definitely
all of
not
them.
baby boomers. Baby boomers hate us. All they call us is snowflakes.
But baby boomers are still the moms right now. The moms and the younger grandmas.
Not the new moms,
The
though.
older
The
the
older
older
moms,
moms
right,
and the
like
younger
our
grandmas. Right.
Right.
Like, but they're still. My point is that they're still hip. If you want to, you know what I mean. Like they're still involved.
They're still in the flow of
right,
things.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like
Agreed.
when the loud millennials come out, or
Right.
the Generation Zers come out with this.
Is that the newest one,
Yeah,
by the way?
Generation Z, the younger.
Generation Z?
Yeah, the ones that are younger
Okay.
than us.
What about Generation X? Is that not a thing?
Generation X was right before baby boomers.
Okay, thank
It was
you. That's
X,
all I needed.
baby boomers, Y, millennials, Z.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
So like that, but that's. I'm dying. That's like the loud ones make noise, and then you have like baby boomers and the millennials and Generation Z. They all are like, oh yeah, I should feel that way.
Yeah.
And
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? And it snowballs
But
into
I
this,
still think
like,
they're minority
nonsense.
because I believe, honestly, my heart of hearts.
They may be the minority of millennials,
Right.
but they're infecting everyone.
But I
And
still don't
millennials
believe
are
they're
so
affecting
fickle.
everybody.
Millennials are so fickle as a generation, and I will say this about Generation Z as well. Millennials are so fickle that once the hipsters and the loud ones start making noise, most millennials fall in line with it.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that full-heartedly because I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that I am like most millennials because, first of all, one, I am a millennial. So before everybody, like, if anybody even listens to this, like, before anybody gets mad, I am a millennial.
Right.
But I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that I represent a majority of millennials in the sense that we all get annoyed by certain things, yeah. But for the most part, none of us, like, we have too much shit going on. There's, like, so many other concerns that we don't want to deal with this extra shit.
See, but
And
that's the common misconception.
And what happens is that these people get loud, and all of a sudden they start bringing up shit and like shit that nobody fucking agrees with. No one agrees with them,
But everyone
they're
agrees
so
with
loud,
it.
But they're
Because they're so loud.
I don't want to get involved with these fucking people. All I say to myself, like on a daily basis, is like, please shut the fuck up.
But that's
Shut the fuck up. I don't want
you're
to fucking
in the
listen to it.
minority.
I
That's
I
the
disagree
thing.
with you. I absolutely full-heartedly, in my
in the
heart of
minority.
hearts, disagree with you. I don't believe that.
you're in the minority.
No,
there.
because they're the loudest, that they're the majority. No, I could not disagree more. I couldn't disagree
You
more.
are in the minority of millennials who
People
actually
don't
thinks
wanna
for
get
themselves.
fucking involved with it. No, I disagree with you, JR.
It's
I
not
believe you're
about
so wrong.
It's not about getting involved. It
But
has
people
nothing
don't
to do with
want to
getting
get involved, so they stay quiet. So because people don't want to get involved and they stay quiet, the people that are louder seem to speak for the majority, but that's not the truth.
Okay, that I don't argue with.
Right. That's
That
why
I
I'm
don't.
saying that. That's
Okay.
why I'm saying the majority does not agree with them because
That's
the
okay.
minority
That-
is so much louder
Right.
than the majority.
The louder group is
But
right,
if
the
they were to
squeaky
take
wheel
a
gets the
vote
grease.
on
I get
most
that.
of the things that minorities are, or not minorities, sorry, excuse me,
The minority of the millennials.
the millennials and the millennials are screaming about, the majority would
Take
not.
a vote on black people, would you?
The majority would not agree with them. Like if there was an actual vote and you said you cannot be, you know, what's millennial? Like at this point, it's like 23 and younger and like 30 and older.
A millennial is 83
To 90?
2001 ish.
Okay, so if you took that group, I don't know the exact years. We're gonna use that as a premise. If you took that group and you said only you people can vote on this subject, I promise you the people that are speaking the loudest would lose every argument. And I believe that in my heart of hearts.
I believe you're right, but I believe it's a lot closer than you would think.
I think it's like 30-70.
I believe it's much closer to 50-50, only because how fickle-minded some millennials are, where once the loudness takes over,
It's almost cool to be on that side.
right, so like the loudness takes over and people are like, oh, have you heard about this?
Yeah.
And immediately you're like,
false-
oh yeah, dude, I agree.
All jokes aside, fake news, like not trying to be funny, like just like, fake news, like.
But that's the thing, is the fickleness, and that's the point I was making.
Sure.
We were making two different points.
Sure.
At that point, it was like, because the point I'm making is that like these even baby boomers, it's a fickleness where the squeaky wheel is getting all the attention.
Right. And people are believing that the squeaky wheel speaks for all of us, though.
Well, but people are believing that, but like the people who disagree don't say anything, and then the people who couldn't give a shit, right? But then the people who couldn't give a shit get asked, and they're like, "Oh no, I agree with the people that are loud," because they just don't want to be
the odd man out.
Exactly,
which is fair. But I still stand by the 30-70 mark. I really do, because I understand everything that you said, and you put it very well, elegantly. Like, you explained it very well. Like, because you're 100% right. That does have something to do with it. You are right. But when it comes down to it, like, if you actually put things to a certain vote, right? A closed curtain, four walls around
nothing
you.
else matters.
Nothing
blah, blah,
else
blah.
matters. You're deciding this.
You would get something different.
I'm telling you
would
it's
absolutely.
70-30.
Yeah, I don't.
Because some of the
wouldn't
fucking
disagree.
people, they
but the
talk
problem
about
is that's
shit,
not
and
how
you're just
society
like,
is.
I agreed. But the problem with my generation is most people believe that. Most people believe that the minority that speaks for us
is the millennial.
Is how we all feel. And I could not disagree more.
That's the thing, is like, you see, like, the common misconception about millennials is all they want to do is live in their parents' basement until their parents fucking die.
Nobody fucking wants that. Nobody wants that.
But well,
some
people do want
some people
that,
want that,
right?
right,
Because
right.
that's the actual
Richie Rich
misconception.
wants that.
That's the misconception about millennials. But it's also like, okay, so another thing that I have a problem with,
being called too soft, but good. I hate that. Good.
Trophies.
Okay,
Trophies bother me.
We can agree on this.
Trophies
there should be a third place, fourth place trophy.
No. It's everyone right now, and for the past few years, after you and I have been out of high school.
Sure.
But most recently, because the problem is this falls into the category of the millennials who are parents.
Sure. Everybody deserves a trophy.
Right. It's all participation
Crazy.
trophies for
That's
everyone.
Nuts. It's the time you train winners when everybody wins.
Right. Exactly. So, and that's the thing, is like,
that's
I don't know how I'm going to handle it with my kid, because like,
well, I think you'll do the right thing and tell your son that sometimes there are winners and there are losers.
But it's
to become
crazy
a winner,
because,
you need to become stronger.
This is the thing. So like, okay, so let's say my son's playing baseball.
Sure. Perfect example for the two of us.
Right. Because like, there's certain sports that are individual sports.
Sure.
So it's a lot easier to have that conversation of, well, you didn't win, you didn't finish second, and you didn't finish third, so you don't get a trophy because you have to
win.
Right. You have to be that good in order to get a trophy. That's how it works. But baseball is a team sport.
Correct.
Right? So now if your team didn't win, it's not necessarily your fault, Billy,
Correct.
or my fault.
Correct.
Because we could have hit 600.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
in a 5-game series,
right,
hit 600,
never
5
made
RBIs,
an out, never made an out, like whatever, or never made an error. I mean, in the field.
I know what you meant.
So like, but your team didn't win.
Right.
But everybody still gets a trophy.
Right. That's crazy.
But now, everybody on the team is getting a trophy, and
so you're being rewarded for bad things.
How am I gonna say to my kid? What am I going to say to my kid when he comes to me and says, "Dad, why won't you let me have a trophy? Everybody else on my team got a trophy."
I do not have the answer.
You know what I mean? But that's
right.
That's what I'm saying, is that's the culture that was bred
I
right
am
now.
Not an upcoming father, so I feel like it's easy for me to say this. I feel like it'd be difficult if I actually had a child, because my opinion is that you
don't get a
explain to
fucking
your
trophy.
child
You don't get a trophy.
that you don't get a trophy because you didn't win.
Right.
And Dad, but everybody else got trophies.
That's the problem.
But
that's the problem.
son, I have to
every
tell
parent
you.
on the team said,
I'm trying to train you for life.
right.
There are winners and there are losers.
Guess what, son?
And you know what losing is? This is the misconception, right? Losing doesn't make you a loser.
No, it just means you didn't win.
Losing makes you aware of what you're not good at.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you're a shitty person.
No.
It just means you know
That
now
means
what you
you
need to
now
focus
know
on.
what you need to work on. So baseball's the perfect example, right? So let's just say, for argument's sake, right? So in a 7-game series, you batted 600. You had 5.
Well, look at the Cardinals Nationals.
But let me
series.
let me give you this one, right? So in a
Can I finish?
7-game
Can I
series,
finish?
yeah, right. So in a 7-game series, right, you hit 600.
Mm-hmm.
You hit 5 home runs. You hit 8 RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking fantastic what you just
terrific.
did. But you had 8 errors. You lose the game. You
lose,
just
yeah.
learned that your problem is that you need to work on your fielding.
Yeah, if you didn't make those errors, they
But
wouldn't
now
have
I
scored
give
those
you
runs.
a trophy.
Right. Oh, cool.
You've just been rewarded for being fucking terrible
Mm-hmm.
in the field. You're not preaching
Right.
two different things.
So that's the point that I was making is, so if you look at this year's baseball playoffs, right? You look at the
Nationals
the
and
Cardinals and the Nationals, right? The Cardinals took the Braves to school.
Fucking Christ! I felt so bad for the Braves because I actually thought they were a fucking good team.
And the Nationals battled against the Dodgers, and they came back, and they got
you believe
hot.
that, by the
they
way?
got hot, and they won. Okay,
Fucking Dodgers,
so
man.
now you're thinking,
How
right?
pissed are you if you live in LA? Right.
So
The only
angry.
thing you actually care about
So
is
angry.
basketball and baseball, and they fucking suck.
So now you're looking at the Nationals Cardinals, and you say, well, the Cardinals just beat the Braves,
Right.
And the Braves were a very good team.
So you thought?
So you thought,
Yeah.
And the Cardinals are like, okay, so the Cardinals have a
Their
decent
shit
team.
kicked in by the Nationals,
The Nationals not only beat them in 4 games,
but they looked good.
They never trailed.
I think they were won by like 7 runs every game, something like that.
They never trailed a single game in the series, and in a 4-game series, they only allowed 5 earned runs.
And then in that 4-game series, they scored something like 30
30
runs or
30
something
runs,
like
yeah,
that. Like
something like
maybe just under, but like
It was
they had 2
yeah.
games where they scored 7 runs.
Yeah.
So right there's
But
14.
the Cardinals
It was probably under
defensively
30, but-
defensively they weren't that bad.
No,
like they
pitching,
didn't
they were
make they didn't
very
make
good.
errors. Their pitching was still
Very good.
The Nationals just got hot and a couple like
they just fucking hit
their,
everything.
Their stuff came with 2 outs.
Yep.
Their stuff came in spurts, right?
Yep.
So like the last game they scored like 7 runs in the first inning and then didn't have another run.
Sure.
But what the Cardinals didn't do is they didn't hit.
Yeah.
Their 1 and 2 batters for the first 3 games of the series went over.
Yeah.
Did not get a single hit.
Right.
You know what I mean? They scored 4 runs, I think, in the last game,
Something like that.
and that was the most runs they scored in
No,
the
I
entire.
don't think it was that much actually.
They did. They got 4 because it was
Did
7-4.
they?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
But that was more runs than they scored in the first 3 games combined
Yeah.
in the last game because they finally changed the lineup.
And it's not like the Nationals have that strong of a pitching stature. I mean, besides Scherzer.
Scherzer and
I mean,
Strasburg,
Scherzer's a beast.
dude, Strasburg's one of the most underrated playoff pitchers ever.
No,
But
he
that's
doesn't
beside
have
the-
great good playoff numbers, I don't believe.
He's got a 1.16 ERA in the playoffs, lifetime,
I saw I was wrong. I apologize.
give or take. Don't quote me on that number.
I won't.
But
I
it's
won't.
definitely sub.
I
1.5.
thought it was worse than that.
He
but
is not like Clayton.
I apologize.
Kershaw.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's not like Kershaw.
No one's like fucking Clayton Kershaw. And so this
But
is a great one.
Before this becomes a sports podcast,
Yeah,
because
I know.
we're jumping down a
Yeah,
rabbit
yeah,
hole.
yeah.
The point is that the Cardinals got their asses handed to them,
Absolutely.
but they know why, because they didn't hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the reason why they lost.
Right.
So now
No
they
trophy for
know no trophy for them. They understand,
Except for like millions of dollars.
yeah, but they're getting paid to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you think they're happy? Do you think they left there going, well, at least I get paid $1 million? No, they left going, I can't believe we fucking lost.
I think some of them are though. Some of them are.
Some of them sleep better,
So,
but none of them were happy.
Here's a great example, right? Bryce Harper. He's getting paid millions of dollars, more money than you, me, your wife.
He's still not
anybody
happy.
who listens to this
Combined
over
a lifetime.
He's on a fucking beach right now playing golf.
But here's the thing.
He's happy.
Here's the thing. He's okay right
Money
now.
buys happiness.
He's okay right now. Absolutely does.
Absolutely.
He is okay right now.
Yeah.
He sleeps fine.
He sleeps fine.
But don't sit there and tell me he's upset he didn't make the playoffs. Don't sit there and tell me he's not unhappy about it.
Sure.
And don't sit there and tell me that it's not on his mind at least a little bit. Because if you play a sport and you're a competitor, that matters. But it doesn't mean. But $400 million or $330 million helps a lot.
So this is how I'm going to wrap all this conversation together. Bryce Harper is the perfect example because Bryce Harper. Harper.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Bryce.
Who hurt you?
Bryce Harper was raised as we were, where there are winners and losers. Mm-hmm. Now the newest generation will not give a fuck that they don't make the playoffs because they're making money. That's how I tied this whole thing into one another.
But I disagree.
Because they won't care because everybody's a winner now. You won.
Absolutely.
You did great. You're a professional athlete.
I
You're
understand,
making millions of
I understand
dollars.
the point you're making, but I disagree from a standpoint that if you play a professional sport, regardless of when you were born or what generation you're a part of, if you play a professional sport, you're a competitor. And your drive is to win.
So I'm going to bring up a subject that was not we were going to talk about today. We were going to talk about another day. But this is a perfect place to put it.
Okay.
I've been watching Peaky Blinders a lot lately because
one of the best shows out
fantastic show.
Yep.
I was rewatching it, so please don't talk about season 5. Because
you haven't seen it yet?
I wanted to rewatch it because I couldn't really remember everything. Because you know how Netflix shows work in the sense that shows work in the sense that like you binge it like 3 or 4 days and then you don't watch it for a year, so you kind of forget it. So anyways, so very long story short,
everyone dies.
So, very long story short, I've been rewatching it to get myself ready for season 5. I just finished season 4 again, so now I'm ready for season 5. Anyways,
literally everyone dies.
Literally everyone dies.
Everyone dies.
That's great. I don't need to watch it anymore. So
no, it's actually season 5 is good, but I forgot that they're only.
I don't even.
No. It's not.
Okay.
I forgot that they're only like 6 episodes a season.
I know.
So like,
tell me about it, right?
I binged it and I got to episode 6 and episode 6 happens and I was like, oh,
right.
Like the end of episode 6, you're like, oh,
yeah.
And then you're like, okay, next episode.
Oh no, too bad it's over. So this is a perfect example because I wanted to talk about 1910 men because the show takes place 1910, 1920-ish around that area.
Yep.
Versus 2019 men and how different we are because of culture. Like these people were raised in fucking like rough environments in like steel, coal. Fucking no one gives a shit if you die. Fucking like. Oh, they're dead? Who's gonna pick up a shift next?
Right.
Like now you would never. There are labor laws, hour laws, equal right laws.
Well, I think part of it comes from evolution, and the other part of it comes from just getting softer.
Well, evolution, not in the sense of human dynamics. It's evolution in the sense of that we want better work.
Right. The evolution of society.
We don't want to work as hard. We want to work easier.
Well, work smarter, not harder.
Right.
And like,
so
it's like, I want to do this, but at the same time, I want to be able to do it in a way that allows me to enjoy my life.
Sure.
Still. Whereas back then it was you work 6-7 days a week.
Pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And so the example I wanted to give you, and I was curious of your thoughts. You take a 1910 man, you take a 2019 man, right? You switch them. You put the 2010 man. Or 1910 man in 2019. You put the 2019 man in 2010. Who dies first?
1910?
What did I say? Yeah, you know what I meant. 1910.
Who dies first?
Who dies first? Now, the 2019 person has all the what you would think the average person has for modern medicine, modern thought, modern health, but you put him in 1910.
Right.
But the 1910 guy who knows nothing about anything that's going on in 2019, this must look like another universe to him. Who dies first?
Okay, so
it's interesting, right?
Well,
it's an interesting thought.
It's not really hard unless you're
I disagree.
Giving stipulations.
Okay, give me your sips.
If it's a random guy from 1910.
Sure. And it's a random guy from 2019.
A random guy and a random guy.
We're trying to keep it as even as we possibly could.
Average American.
But I want them out of high school. I want to make that one thing. So I want a 19-year-old 2019 19-year-old 2000 or 1910. That's why I want to do.
Dude, 2019 dies within a week. Within a week. There's no question. A 19-year-old from 2019 versus a 19-year-old from 1910. The 2019 19-year-old is dead. He's dead before
Really?
he sets foot in that fucking era. It's no question.
What? Or you're talking about like vaccines and things like that? You're talking about illness?
I'm talking about just dead. He will not survive.
Why is that?
Because he's been coddled his whole life.
You don't think that with our superior intelligence and how we've grown, like that they would be easily adaptable to
No.
a time with no technology and no mindset?
Average American, 19 years old, in 1910, stands zero chance.
Wait,
Zero
you're saying
chance.
that the guy from 1910 would not last in 2019?
Nope. Opposite.
The 2019 would not last
In 1910.
Okay, sorry. I misunderstood.
Yes.
I agree with you. Sorry,
Yes.
I misunderstood.
They would not last 10 fucking seconds.
I misunderstood.
Back then. 1910 comes forward into 2019. That person.
And we're not taking like illnesses.
Nope,
That's
average American,
right.
just average
Right,
American.
right. We're assuming that everyone has their vaccines
Yes.
and all that stuff.
None of that crap. I'm saying average American from 1910 comes here now. They have a lot of adjusting to do, but they've been an adult since they were 12.
So let me play devil's advocate just for fun.
Go ahead.
Just for fun.
Go ahead.
The guy from 2019 has so much more intelligence of how things work versus the guy from 1910.
They don't.
You don't
I
think
disagree.
So how do
Because
you how do you
everything-
personally believe that you would handle
everything-
1910?
I
You personally.
wouldn't. I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I would not handle
I was I'm asking.
I would not be able to handle it.
I don't know how well I would
I would
do. I
like
think-
to think that I would do
I
okay.
don't think I would do that well.
Here's the thing. 1910.
A lot
All
of shit
of
going on.
all of the things that the average American knows now
Right.
wasn't even a thought back then.
Fair.
So unless you're telling me, unless the thought process is this person can go back there and invent these things and become super mega rich, that's a different story. But if you just drop them in the middle of 1910 New York City and say, go survive, they're dead in a
And we're
week.
doing, in fairness,
Right.
we're doing the same to
Yep,
both.
they're dead
So
in
the
a week.
1910 guy, we're dropping him in Times Square, and we're saying go survive.
Yep.
2019, we're dropping him in Times Square, which obviously is not the same as it
Go
is now,
survive.
but go survive. Who survives longer?
The 1910 guy coming
agree with
here
you.
survives longer because he's just going to go and say, listen, where can I get work? He's just going to start asking people, where can I work?
And to think of what he would do for the minimal amount of money, because think about it, like how bad wages were back then. Like wages were fucking terrible.
I mean,
These
and
people
don't get me
lived
wrong,
off
like there's
fucking
inflation and blah, blah, blah.
nothing.
Like, but that's
but
the
these
thing.
people were
There's a
like
lot
living
of
your
adjusting.
living room. Like people like would live in this size room and be fucking happy.
There's a lot of adjusting that would have to take place.
Yeah.
But the 1910 guy is more.
But we can both agree that the 2019 guy has every more advantage than the 1910 guy.
He has.
I mean, just
He has
so
a
much
wealth
more
of knowledge at his fingertips that he can't access because his phone is not in his pocket.
Which one of the greatest memes, I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you. One of the greatest memes I've ever seen in my personal life is, it's right. So it's this like group of people, and there's a guy standing. He goes, "I am from 2019, and I am superior." And then he goes, right underneath it is the same photo. He goes, "So great. So how does this electricity that you speak of work?" And then he goes, "I have no idea. I can't Google it." I thought it was so funny.
It's the fucking truth.
I thought it was so
It's the
funny.
fucking truth, dude.
It's absolutely the truth. It's absolutely the truth. I honestly I know how to clean cuts better than they do. I know much more about vaccines. I know much more about like what could actually kill you. But now make me actually clean it. That makes me actually like provide the vaccine.
Yeah.
I fucking have no idea.
But that's my point. Is like there's. We have all this knowledge, but it's not up
Now apply
here.
it.
It's
Now
not
apply
up
it.
here.
Right.
It's in here.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
So
Like that's the part of the meme I find so funny. It's like, oh, so this electricity, it sounds wonderful. Like, how do we do it? I don't know. I can't Google it.
filaments. Light bulb. Somebody make me a light bulb. I'll show you how it works.
Well, how do I make a light bulb?
I don't know. You got a battery?
What's a battery?
Exactly.
Yeah. And you just go down this rabbit hole of like different questions and like, you know, I just thought that was very interesting.
No, it's 100%. Like,
Yeah.
it's an interesting question, but I feel like there's no question on the answer.
Right. I feel like the 1910 guy like wouldn't understand anything that we do nowadays.
But you know what's funny?
Like have him
take that 19
have him call Uber to
take
go to
that
work.
1910 guy.
You know?
Take that 1910 guy and put him.
I feel like he'd be overwhelmed.
He would. But my point is that if you take that 1910 guy and you put him into the 1700s, right? Like a different era, right? Because we're saying take this era and put it into the early 1900s, which is a totally different time. Take that 1900s guy and throw him maybe even further back, maybe into like medieval times, because like with the Industrial Revolution, like everything kind of sped up and collapsed as far as like technology progressing. So I don't know exactly
That's
the right time
interesting.
frame.
I think we're going to disagree here.
But like if you take that 1910 guy and put him in
back?
medieval times,
I think you'd do just fine.
I don't think you would. I think
I
you'd get his
disagree.
ass handed to him because
Because they're
time,
worker men.
But-
you know? Like
but-
we're not working men.
over time, quality of life gets better and easier. So I think it depends on the time difference, but I think there is a area of time where the 1910 guy fares just as poorly as the 2019 guy does.
So this is my only argument. Do you realize in 2019 in real life, I work in the field, so I'm speaking with like the utmost of intelligence on this. We have a tradesman problem. People don't want to work trades. It's a fact.
It's due to laziness. That's not due to.
It's due to laziness. It's also due because it's not cool to be a plumber. It's not cool to be an electrician.
It's laziness.
It's a little bit of both.
It's
a
expecting
little bit of both.
it's expecting things to be handed to you because you got a college degree.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Right, but it is a little bit of both. You're right. It is a little bit of laziness, but it's also it's not cool to have these jobs. It's a little bit of both.
It's not cool to have these jobs until you fucking
Up until we don't have any fucking plumbers.
right until your fucking toilet's clogged and you don't know what to do.
And especially when you don't know what to fucking do to unplug a fucking toilet. You know what I mean? Like then you're really fucking fucked.
Do you have a plunger? What's a plunger?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, man, we're gonna just have all types of fucking problems. But like, it's just interesting to me that like the 1910 guy, I think he's more adaptable. You know, 'cause he's
definitely
willing
more
to do
adaptable.
more fucking shit work. I mean, 1910s. I mean, like they were doing some fucking shit work, man.
Yeah.
They're working in fucking coal mines. They're working in fucking dude. They're tunneling. Peaky Blinders. Fucking when he's fucking tunneling through the tunnels, he's got the fucking mask
Right
on.
before everyone dies.
Bro, I'd be like right before everybody is. Okay, I'd be fucking like I'd be like hyperventilating.
Yeah.
I'd be in this space. I'd
Did
be
you
like, this
see-
is not. I
Did
need
you see
my.
the HBO Chernobyl?
Oh, did I see the HBO Chernobyl?
When those guys were just fucking digging out the trench.
How bad
That's
did
in
you
that was
feel?
in the 80s.
Wait, how bad did you feel for the fucking scientists? That the guy's like, there's no way it exploded. Just go out there. You know
the
what I'm
guy
talking
that
about? Like,
was forced to check it.
yeah,
I
that's
felt
the guy.
terrible for.
Or that guy or the fire guy. The
all
fireman
of those,
guy.
all of the firemen and the guys that were just forced to be like, go check it out. I feel bad for.
I don't wanna be
the
like,
guy,
you
the
go
guys
check
that
it
were
out.
the guys that were in charge.
Yeah.
I'm so happy they're dead.
You know what's crazy about that though? Like, dude, to this day, that was fucking like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
like
late 80s.
The end
It was
of that.
it was literally
You know what
2
blew
days
my
after I
mind?
was born.
You know what? You know really.
Yeah,
You know what really blew my mind more
or
than
a year after I was born. I can't remember.
anything that was done in the documentary is at the end of the documentary when they showed you like the true like the afterwards of everything. When they show you that the firemen, when they dumped the guy's clothes into the closets, that they're still radioactive
Today.
to this day. That's
But that's why every one of those firemen
mind-boggling to
died.
me.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's possible.
Radioactivity just lasts.
I
That's why
understand
they're.
that.
That's why
But
they
it's
had to
an open,
cover
But
it
it's
up.
an open area. How does it not break down like that? Like I understand that's true. I understand that's still radioactive. Scientific speaking, like I can't wrap my head around that. Of how that
we will
works.
tackle it on another episode.
on the next episode.
All right, before we wrap up, I want to do a segment.
Go ahead.
We're gonna try our first segment.
Go ahead. I'm in it.
All right.
I'm in it to win it.
It is called This Week in Florida.
My favorite.
I'm literally going to type in
Different part of the country. Literally.
I'm literally just going to type in a Florida man
Okay.
into my Google search.
Okay.
And read the first thing that comes up.
Okay. I'm in it. It's fucking man. It's just like Florida people. It's just like.
So the
in the water.
top story from one day ago.
Okay.
Because there's a bunch of different. So like.
So am I guessing like if this is true or false? Am I guessing like?
So this one we're just going to talk about.
Okay.
How stupid it is.
Okay. All right.
Because they're all stupid.
They're all
but like
amazing.
The things that are coming up
I don't know
is
if they're stupid.
60
I think they're
times.
amazing.
60 times a Florida man did something so crazy. Fucking 11 of the most outrageous news stories from Florida. Florida man worst superhero ever. But the top story. Okay, so there's 2 top stories. I'm sorry. 3 top stories. The first one is Florida man uses badge from eBay to impersonate police officer.
But like, is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised?
No, it's just, but it's like, how stupid do you have to be?
Stupid.
Very stupid.
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 It's not even like, but like I don't even know if that's a Florida thing. I think people are that stupid to do that type of stuff all the time.
That's
They're
fair.
like
Okay.
better Florida
Okay.
stories.
So next
and
one.
Now I'm looking forward to
Next
this.
one. A Florida man called the sheriff's office to report stolen marijuana.
Is marijuana still illegal in Florida? Is it decriminalized?
I don't
or?
know. The deputy's response: stop calling.
So that's literally the cop trying to be
Florida.
like,
That's
dude,
Florida.
Listen, stop. Enough's
Just
enough.
stop calling.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, enough.
The last one. Florida man wrestles 8-foot alligator from swimming pool.
Oh my god. Oh my god. First of all, I don't know if you know this, but Florida has a alligator removal company.
Yeah.
That they
And
go
in
to that,
every
and that happens
single-
like more than you think.
Yeah, but it's like in every single town they have that.
Yeah.
Wherever there are gators, there is a company that will come remove gators. This guy just dove into a swimming pool and wrestled an 8-foot alligator with what appears to be a GoPro attached to his head.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh my fucking Christ, dude. He's lifting it. So, you can't see it.
He's bench pressing. Well,
He's
on
literally
YouTube-
lifting
on
it
YouTube, we will put
over
up this
his
picture.
fucking head. Like he's fucking bench pressing it. And this gator's like all about it, by the way. First of all, this gator could easily get out of this hold because there's no hold on him. He's not squeezing.
All
He's
this
just
gator
literally
has to
lifting
do,
him up.
if this gator
If
does
this gator wiggles, he's out of that.
All you
Grab,
need-
death roll.
all you need is Froggy or fucking Chippy going, do a barrel roll, and that
Fucking-
gator's eating that guy.
First of all, I have so many problems with what you just said. Slippy and Peppy.
Whatever.
Froggy and Chippy. Froggy and Chippy. He pretends to be a nerd, ladies and gentlemen. He calls them Froggy and Chippy.
Number one, I'm not pretending.
It is
Number
Slippy
two,
and Peppy.
It was 20 years since I played that game.
Slippy and Peppy are one of the most iconic motherfuckers of all time.
The only one I know is fucking Star Fox, and it's Froggy and Hippity Hoppity.
And Falco. You know Falco.
Fuck Falco.
How dare
You heard me. Do a
Falco's
barrel roll.
last name is Lombardo, which is my mother's maiden name, which makes us legally binding family. So
It doesn't though.
thank you for watching this episode.
That's all for this week's episode. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if we would, we do want to incorporate an advice section or aspect into this podcast. So if you have any questions or want advice on something, send us an email at the number 4guysmedianetwork@gmail.com and use the subject, "Can I get advice?" Please make sure to subscribe and rate us on iTunes. Click the link and subscribe. The like and subscribe icons on YouTube on the 4Guys Media Network page, or check us out on SoundCloud by searching "Can I Finish?" Can I finish? That's all for this week's episode. We'll see you next time, guys.
I love you.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions or topics for us to cover, email us at 4guysmedianetwork@gmail.com. If you're on the go, you can subscribe to our shows on iTunes. Be sure to check out our Patreon page, 4Guys Media Network, for access to exclusive content like minisodes and more. We have a lot of goals to hit, so we can keep improving and continue providing more content ad-free. So all of your donations are greatly appreciated. Make sure you subscribe to the 4Guys Media Network YouTube channel for all of our other projects by clicking the link on the right. And lastly, if you want to watch another episode, just click the link on the left. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.